Welcome, real people, real conversations. This is your host, Lori, speaking. Let's get this conversation started. So today we're going to start a conversation about Governor Cuomo's new law with late-term abortion. Actually, up until the day the baby's due date is. I'm really disgusted with it, and I'm just wondering how other people feel about this. Also, Hollywood is starting a new trend, raising children genderless. This one is really bothering me. So I'm going to start a conversation with my brother today and my cousin Celinda. And again, this is why we keep calling this Real People, Real Conversation. We're just going to start a conversation. So let's go, guys. How you doing?
Good. How you doing? Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm having my coffee, watched the news today, got disgusted, but this is why I
This is what it is. This is what the world's coming to today.
Right. So this is why we started the Real Conversations, because we're watching the news. But you know what? I will tell you something that I seen today with the priest actually really making a stand as far as them being really upset with Governor Cuomo. And I didn't even realize that part of that law that just passed was that if a baby at 9 months is aborted and that baby survives it, a 9-month-old baby laying there, they let it die. That's murder.
Yep.
Oh, that broke my heart. That just set my whole tone for the day. I can't even believe that this is what this world has come to, and we're all accepting it. Everybody's sitting home. And the other point I thought of too, I didn't realize, I don't know if you guys seen it. Did you see when he announced this law that everybody was cheering?
Yes.
And they light the building pink?
Yep. Yep. Listen, my opinion on it, I think that, one, he's supposedly supposed to be a true Catholic, which obviously he's not, because he's not even following that. Two is he got pushed into doing what he's doing for a political motive, not for because what he believes in. He's thinking about himself, not the people that he's running a state for. And number three, it's murder. That's what it's. Absolutely. And let me just say something. Will be brought back up now. Can I just say something? None of this is how political it is. None of this would have happened had Trump not be in office. Because Trump is in office and he is a pro-lifer, this is the only reason why this came up. Otherwise, if he was pro-choice, this would not come up, and you would see them putting bans on abortion everywhere. Yep. It's all about destroy Trump's agenda. Yep. It's politics. It's all politics. That's why I say now, Cuomo, what he did is he opened the door for the Supreme Court now to get involved with Roe v. Wade. He should have let alone be alone, but now by extending it to 9 months, the full term, I mean, that's outright murder. That's what you're doing. To me, it just doesn't make sense on anybody who can sit back in their heart and be like, it's okay with all the stuff we have today to prevent pregnancies. We have the day after pill. We make a mistake. You've got the day after pill. Now it's, a woman feels, all right, I need the abortion at 9 months. That's to me, is insane for people to even think that way, that it's okay. And Andrew, and they also are allowing nurse practitioners and nurses to allow the abortion. Now, here's to say, when I read some of the law, they said, if there's a problem with the baby and the baby, let's just say, is stillborn, or the mother's life is at risk, they'll try to do something. Most OBGYNs say deliver the baby, don't abort it. But who's to say? Real quick, who's to say that somebody and their hormones are all whacked out and they're just feeling emotionally and they don't want this baby anymore and they just go to a regular nurse and there's nothing wrong with that baby? How do they even know medically? They don't. Because then it becomes another money thing. That's what it really comes down to. And as an example, it's like, I have twins. I have twin boys, and my wife had a medical problem where her blood platelets dropped down to emergency, so we had to do a C-section. She just turned 7 months, and I have two healthy young men now. And but what are they saying? All right, now it's going to be, we can just abort them now. I think that's insane. And you look at my sons, they're men today, and thank God for technology. That we were able to, my wife was fine, and my kids were fine.
I didn't even realize that.
Right,
I did forget. You're right that they were they were what? What'd you say? 7 months?
7 months.
Wow.
Just made 7 months.
And they survived.
That's same thing with my daughter. When I was pregnant, they saw a spot on her brain. Oh, we're going to give you 6 months. We'll come back and do another ultrasound. They didn't explain nothing to me. So I prayed every day to God that my baby was healthy. And when I went back and they did the ultrasound, they said everything was fine. But today, God forbid, they're going to try to rush and do an abortion. Because I asked the doctor, I said, well, what was going on? They're like, well, we were afraid it might have been a tumor on the brain. But what happened is that the brain was still in development, so there was an air pocket, and we can't tell at that point exactly what it is.
Yep. Well, what they did is they just opened the door for, now you have a big alternative. And you have these people, like you said, if their hormones or everything is off, this is what they're going to go do. Or what if a woman and a man, they're planning a pregnancy, and they're planning their whole thing. She's 7 months pregnant, and he leaves her now. Is that a reason why a woman now can turn around and say, you know what, well, he ain't in it, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to be a single mom now, I'm going to have an abortion now. It gives that alternative now. Now they can do this. Yep.
Well, you're right. See,
disgusting.
Right. See, do you see what you just said? He opened the door. It's just like a broad stroke. I really don't even know what made this man wake up one day and did he wake up one morning and just decide that I'm just going to pass this law? And at the same time, New York, a murderer, rapist, serial killer, pedophile, school shooter can't receive lethal injection, but a child in the womb can. Capital punishment has been ruled unconstitutional in New York, but abortion up to the day of birth is legal. Just tell me, I don't know what happened to this man. Did a screw just get loose one morning? He wake up and say, okay, I'm just going to do this.
It's because he's running for president. And he thinks that he's going to get over a woman vote by doing that. And I think he's going to be actually surprised that he gets nowhere with his campaign. Because there's going to be more people out there. Even if you offer abortion, most people are just going to say that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I would say most people would have.
A lot of money to be made with that too.
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood. I watched a video with a doctor explaining how they do abortions on these babies and how they take it's like a forceps thing, and they put inside and they pull out a leg, they pull out another leg, they pull out an arm. They go to pull out the head. That they're getting the head because white oozes out, and that's the brain. I was watching that. I was in tears. I could not believe that.
That's what Cuomo and all these people that were standing are for. This is what they're for. Cuomo forgets that he's a son of a father, and he has a son. Why didn't he do it?
And he has grandkids, I'm sure.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, it's just I was sitting with my father-in-law, and my father-in-law made a good statement to me. He goes, this world today is getting so crazy, and where it stands, he goes, what do I have? 10 years left in my life, and you can imagine what this world's going to be in the next 10 to 20 years. And he looked at me and he goes, see, you'll get the tail end of it, but then it's my grandchildren, your kids, are going to have to deal with it, and then their kids, what this world will be.
Yep.
Well, that's
That's
where,
exactly what it's becoming.
yes, and now that's where the other thing comes in, where you're seeing now Hollywood. I think they think it's like trendy or whatever they think. They're all walking around saying now, not all of them, I shouldn't even say that, but you have some in Hollywood that are starting, they're looking to make a statement. Oh, I want to raise my child genderless and let them decide. New babies where they're saying, oh, today she seems like a girl, and then tomorrow the baby could seem like a boy. Where is this world heading? I just don't see what good can come out of all little babies being born. We're going to ignore the fact that they either have a vagina or a penis and just say, okay, well, I had a baby. I cannot tell you what this baby is yet because we just don't know. We're going to let the baby figure it out. Is that where the world is heading?
That's where it's heading. And Lori, that's where all this craziness in our future is going to come out. You're going to have so many people so confused and so crazy, and you'll see things are just going to progressively snowball and get worse.
Yep. It's just the beginning. That's
what you identify yourself as. So if I go out and I say, hey, shoot, let me go shopping and spend $1 million, and then they come after me because I don't have that money, and I'll be like, well, I identified as a millionaire today.
Exactly. When they did the agenda thing in my nephew's school, I turned around to him and I go, well, what you should do is walk outside, go to a tree, and go pee on it. And he goes, why? I go, because you could tell the teachers that you feel like a dog today. Because that's what the world's becoming now. It can't be where, all right, listen, I have no problem with people, as they get older, everybody lives their life their way. I have no problem with it. But if you're going to start children off as young and give them no structure, you know what this world's really going to be? Because that's going to be the generation that's not in the country.
I know. It'll be like nobody can figure out their identity. Think about how impressionable kids are. I don't know if you guys remember when I was a kid growing up. Remember how you played kickball in the street and it was like 90 degrees out and all the boys were able to take their shirts off because they were a boy. And I remember being a little girl wanting to take my shirt off. And my mommy was saying, no, you can't take your shirt off, Lori. Only the boys can. And I'm a little girl. And I said, I want to be a boy. I don't want to be a girl. I want to be able to take my shirt off. Think about if that's today's generation. Now, what would happen now?
They'll let the little girl, the way things are going, they'll let the little girl take off her shirt and then tell her, oh, let's start dressing her as a boy.
So I'm saying, like, children are...
At the end of the day, listen, women are equal to everything, men are equal to... It's a 50-50 thing out there, but really what it comes down to, a man's a man, a woman's a woman, and then later on in life, if you find otherwise for yourself, that's fine. You live your life the way you want to live it. But you shouldn't turn around as being a child and have parents start saying, all right, this is what you're going to be. Because all you're going to have is disruption. You're going to have problems in your household. And what it's going to do to other kids, that poor child, what it's going to go through.
Yep, and like I said before, today, if you go online and you start looking, they actually have gender-neutral haircuts, gender-neutral clothes. It's like, and these are in your department stores and your regular dress shops. It's crazy.
It's not right.
See, that's all, don't you think? But do you see, Andrew, what she just pointed out? See, now this becomes a money thing. So now this is a new trendy thing, gender neutral. So now all these companies, no one's thinking about the children, how it's going to affect them at all. So now it's about, let's capitalize on it. Let's get clothes. Let's start with haircuts.
Well, you have to look at it like this. When we were children, and hypothetically, if our parents were trying to do that in those times, they would have came and took the kids away. Welfare would have came and took them. Today, absolutely. Yeah, today, it's okay. That's why, I go back to my father-in-law, his statement, what this world's coming to is, it's crazy. The only benefit that I believe that, the greatest thing that President Trump did was he has the Supreme Court on his side now, on the conservative side. So that goes a long way. So that'll protect a lot of Constitution for the next at least 20 years, maybe 30 years.
I hope so. I really do hope so.
Roe v. Wade will be brought up again. Now it's going to be brought up because Roe v. Wade was done at a different time. It was never about this.
Right.
It has nothing to do with this. And now it's going to, that's what I mean. He opened the can of worms. Now that he's trying to do that, like other states are going to start following. And then the Supreme Court's going to have to step in. And guess what? Now they're going to actually go against Roe v. Wade in today's world because you have everything to prevent, having, if you don't want to get pregnant. You have everything at your hands.
Right, and the morning after pill. You pointed that out before
That's
too.
I mean. The morning after pill. You have everything to protect yourself from not getting pregnant. And if you do get pregnant, like you just said, the morning after pill now. I mean, if you, oh my God, I think something happened, you could protect yourself. But they have to bring it to the next level. And they didn't even bring it to the next level. They brought it to like such a high level right now. It's disgusting.
Oh, Andrew, you can't go higher than this. The day before or the morning the babies do, this is just crazy.
It's terrible. Going back to the gender neutral thing, what parents don't realize is that they're screwing up with their kids' heads. Okay, imagine going to school and one parent, and it's not there yet, and one parent says, you can be whatever you want. And all the kids that are going to make fun of this kid, statistically, they show more teenage suicides happen because of mental issues. And this is going to really, you're too young. Yeah. It's mental abuse.
It's a mental issue.
It's parent mental abuse.
Well, I got...
And especially with the laws are, what if a child is, it's a girl or a boy, and they know what they are, but the parents want something now. They want the difference, so they're raising their child that way because that's what they want. That's mental abuse now.
Well,
I mean, it opens up so many different doors to what the world will become.
Well, I got news for you. Don't be surprised if teachers, so now you don't raise your child that. You believe I had a boy, you named him a boy's name, or you believe you had a girl. You send your child to school, and then all of a sudden your child comes home and you start hearing your kids say, oh, Mommy, we can't say he. We're not allowed to say she. Because I believe teachers will follow suit and look what they're doing in schools now.
They will. They'll follow.
That's already happening some places.
Yes. Yep. It's politically correctness they have to be. Mm-hmm. That's what the world is today.
Where do you think, Andrew and Celinda...
Parents pushing their agenda on their kids.
Right, but let me ask you guys a question. I just want to ask you a question because I always ask myself this, and I sit home, I'm watching the news, and I'm listening to this craziness. Where do you think this starts? Like we say political correctness, where now all of a sudden you're not even allowed to say that if somebody comes to America, they need to speak English. Now, you could have said that a year ago, but now all of a sudden today, if you say that, they're going to destroy you. Where do you guys think that this is all starting? Like, we're all afraid to say things because we don't know. Oh, my God, are we allowed to say it? We're not allowed to say it?
I think where it comes down to the voter booth. And I believe that majority of people, it's not about the political correctness. Yeah, it's just not. But people, like you said, they're scared to come out and just say things. But when they go to the voter booth, that's when you have to change things.
Right, but where do you... I know, I hear what your answer is, but where do you think that this all starts? Like, how does this all of a sudden in one day, oh, you can't address him as a man, you have to call him a ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am, instead of man.
Because everything's about, when you look at it, everything's about discrimination. Everything. The way you speak, the way you look, everything. It's not, you just can't be you. If you want to be you, forget about it.
Well, what about if you be you, but... don't bother anybody else. Like, leave me alone. Just because I don't agree with you or how you're living your life, it's still your life, but don't I just why can't I just disagree with it? What happened today?
Well, that's the way I always look at life. Like, everybody can live their own life their way. I live my life my way. Don't judge me. I don't judge you. That's the way I always live my life. I don't care.
Look what happened to those kids that went for the march last week. They were doing nothing. They just had their Make America Great hat again. and look how they got attacked.
Attack isn't Floyd. They wanted to destroy teenage kids. That's what they tried to do.
Now they're saying
to another level. It's another level.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you wear one of those hats, now you're a racist, a bigamist, you name it, homophobic. You know, all of a sudden the white people are like, we're going to become the minority for this country. We're going to be like the bad.
Yeah, the bad.
And that's a shame.
That's all you hear on the news. That's all you hear on the news.
Yeah.
You know, the white right, the white this, the white has nothing to do with that.
Or white privilege. White privilege.
That's what everything is. White privilege. It's not that anymore.
There's privilege. There's privilege in every.
At the end of the day, I'm not. I only went through my own things in my life. I don't know what other people have gone through in their lives, but you know, so there is discrimination out there. But at the end of the day, it's at such a lower level than what they make it to be.
Yeah.
They make it a lot like it's, oh my God, just everything is so bad. It's just not fair. It's not fair anymore.
Right. Well.
And it's not fair to the people because they exploit the people. You know, that say, hey, I was discriminated on. They exploit them and then put words in their mouth, and then it goes on every TV network. So then millions and millions and millions of people are seeing this, and that's how they get their message out.
Right.
And that's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They have to make
the fake news media needs to be another whole conversation. We could go on for a long time on that.
Well, do you know who? Do you guys know who Bill Maher is? I think he has a show on HBO.
Yeah.
This is where the difference is. So we're talking about like discriminate. Like you'll see people that I don't even want to say people. I should say that Hollywood comedians that have their own shows, news. You know, everything's their own agenda. They want to knock someone that voted for Donald Trump, and they knock him. And did you see his face? But at the same time, they're trying to bring this poor kid down. Bill Maher says right there. So after he knocks the kid, look at his smug face, and he goes, "That kid's a prick." Oh, that was good. That makes you such a better person to call a young boy that's in high school a prick. Oh, I really respect you so much more now, Bill Maher. Like, are you kidding me? This is what they do. They go at anyone who supports Trump so bad and bring them down. But don't look at what I do. I'm just going to point out what you do and make you look like a fool and a bad person. But don't look at what I do, because I'm okay. We're great. We could do whatever we would want to do.
Yeah, because it's called destroy. You have to destroy someone. It's not a matter of making a statement. They have to destroy you. And they brought it to a level to a 6-year-old kid now.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's trying to destroy this kid. That's just my point. That's a vile word. That's a real vile word. And I just can't see that how you're sitting there pointing something out and trying to make this kid look so derogatory and terrible. But it's okay for you to say that. Same thing with, if we can go back to Cuomo, that he put out this law, but he comes off so righteous. He can make this law, which we're all sitting there with our mouths dropped, but like come off like he's untouchable and he's he's doing this for a good point. And you'll have people at home that'll buy that and believe it.
Because they have nothing else to do. So that's what they do. They really sink into it. And they believe all the stuff that's really going on. And that's how the world changes. That's exactly how the world's going to change. And all they have to do is keep putting it out there, keep putting it out there.
Someone once said to me that if you say something enough, people will start believing it. That's why I want you to know that I put down before we did this podcast, I forgot to bring it up earlier. And I put it out there. I said, is America being brainwashed?
Basically, brainwashed because they want to turn it to sushi.
By the media.
Yep, by the media especially. But at the end of the day, when they even bring up, like, make America great, Ronald Reagan said it, Bill Clinton said it, and I forget who the other gentleman who said it, but big political people have used the same words that Donald Trump has used.
Right, but do
and,
you
and
think...
in big speeches.
Right, but do you think that America is being brainwashed as far as, like Celinda's saying with the news? Actually, Celinda, maybe you could answer because you went to go talk. Like, see how we watch the news every day and they keep repeating that, you know, Trump is so bad and everything he stands for is bad and they keep pushing whatever they feel. Do you think that this could be a part of this, that it's almost as if...
Absolutely, absolutely. When you have all these cable networks except for one that's very liberal, and they hate President Trump, and they will do whatever it takes to destroy Trump. That's why they call it the Destroy Trump media. And it's every day, every day, every day. There's only one or two channels out there that you could actually get real point of views. And it's not, and I'm not saying real point. It's hard to find a thing like I watch Fox. You know why I watch Fox? Because they have Republicans and Democrats, and you get both their views. Okay, but when you turn on CNN, MSNBC, all those other stations, it's just trash talk, and whatever they see, like when they did this thing with the kids, the video, nobody showed those other people cursing and taunting these kids, where the kids were waiting for their bus to come. Nobody showed. In the beginning, it was just that kid being defiant, and those kids were doing this and that, and all of a sudden, the real video came out. Did you see anybody backpedaling on that?
No, I didn't.
And none of them backtracked on it either. It was all about, like I said, you know, destroy. And obviously the boy has good parents, because you could see he even because I forget what show he was being interviewed on, and she said, "Are you sorry?" He said, "No." He goes, "I stood my ground," and he goes, "You know, maybe I could have walked away." He goes, "That's the only thing." But yeah, I'd like to meet Mr. Phillips and talk to him. He's like, because I didn't mean nothing by anything. I just stood there.
Yeah.
Now, that's where I say trying to, you know, because young kids, you know, you play with their minds. This is, you know, thank God, hopefully, like the boy has a good family. But, you know, think about it if it was a kid that didn't have a good family. And now all this backlash is going on them.
I know
And
that.
that's why when you brought up suicide rates, that's where it happens. Mental, they can't take it.
Well, you see, that goes into a whole nother conversation. You're right, because then that's another thing. So we could even just save that for another conversation, because that is another big epidemic that's happening. And you see how you can destroy somebody's life. In 24 hours, this kid was attacked by every media, everybody on social media. And this is when you do hear about a kid taking their life. They want to talk about they're so righteous and they're such good people, but look what they'll never take responsibility for what they do.
Yeah, and there was one reporter that I believe he lost his job because he turned around and said that this kid should be knocked off right on TV.
Well, Kathy Griffin tweeted and said this kid should be docked. That meant put out all his information to his home so people can go to his house.
Well, that's someone crying for attention again.
Well,
Yeah.
She's another wacko.
I know. All right, guys, so we're going to bring this to a close. I appreciate this so much. You see, this is us, real people, having real conversations, and I'm sure there are a lot of other people sitting home at their houses, and that's really what I'm just trying to get out. That you see, we're just talking. We're not understanding things that are happening. We're seeing things for what they are, as far as with the news media, and we're having conversations. So I just hope by one conversation at a time, maybe this will start other people coming out to try to get their voices out to say, hey, wait, something's not right here. I don't think we should be doing this. Who knows?
Yeah, I believe
thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome, and I appreciate it so much that you guys even came on and took the time. So you never know. You may hear my brother and my cousin again. I may have them on again. This was a good conversation. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurie.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.